The sommelier set the leather folder down like something that might confess if you pressed hard enough. Sabrina leaned toward my shoulder and spoke to the room, not to me. Find another table. I opened my palm, then the folder. Thermal paper crackled. A pale grease halo at the corner. $3,500 in the center. Gratuity not included. I didn't order burgundy. I didn't ask for the tower that swayed like a wedding prop. Somewhere a soft happy birthday drifted. The kitchen hissed butter on steel, and I thought how often patience fails with that same sound. My name is Naomi Brooks. In the Archer house, family worked until the bill arrived. I learned to keep quiet before I learned to say no, and I confused gratitude with load-bearing for far too long. Derek got a driveway car with a bow. Sabrina got flights to see Europe. I got told to be grateful for a roof. One day I heard my silence squeal inside me like a dry hinge. Delete the picture, I told Sabrina. She held her phone like a placard with my verdict. Pay it and I will. Patricia rotated her glass one notch. Leonard turned his phone face down, as if fax dim on contact. Please split by person, I told the waiter. For a second his face was human. He understood math matters here. Don't be petty, Leonard said. In our family, petty means, don't name the price of our generosity. Beatrice Monroe stood without tremor, and the restaurant quieted the way a broken AC makes air sound louder. She drew a blue-sealed envelope from her handbag, set it on linen, and said like she was confirming a flight time. Yesterday I revised my will. Everything houses, accounts, interest goes to Naomi. There are no other beneficiaries. Derek's glass ticked and cracked. Sabrina's face tightened and smoothed the way ad posters do. I didn't cry. I folded the slip once, then again. Paper holds a crease better than memory, especially of humiliation. You're not family, Sabrina said sweetly, like a compliment turned inside out. Then stop spending me, I answered, setting a 20 for the only thing I touched. The waiter nodded. He liked exact numbers too. Clerk at 9, Beatrice said, touching the envelope. I slid the bill into my wallet, not as payment as evidence, and stepped into San Diego's wet evening feeling like air had learned to speak for me. Cold. 8:23 p.m. And one text from counsel. Certified copy secured. Night made the house breathe through old walls. I brewed bitter coffee, the kind Beatrice used to cure sweet weakness, and went to the bottom closet shelf where storage obeys stubbornness, not logic. Blue painter's tape gave way slow. Like the sound could wake someone who isn't here. Inside. Receipts folded to matchbook size. Index cards with rusted staples, a red ledger, another blue envelope. For Naomi. I left it whole. Sometimes patience costs more than victory. Only the oversink light. The ledger smelled like flour and ink, as if written between cookies and letters. Blue lines, dates, totals, arrows toward margin notes. The first pages made life look decent. Church, groceries, a small scholarship in 2011. Then the rhythm broke like a step on loose tile. Withdrawals. $24,800. Reimbursement. $15,300. Caretaker needs. $41,900. Blank. Initials repeating like a stamp. Pale Patricia. Leonard. 9 years the paper recorded what voices called family. I texted Caldwell. Found regular unauthorized withdrawals. All logged and initialed. Scanning. He replied clean and fast. Photograph everything. Originals stay. 2 backups. Keep the envelope sealed. I built a small lab from 2 placemats and a lamp. Corners, signatures, totals, the blind emboss where pressure etched the next sheet. I saved files saying the names out loud so a number wouldn't slip with a name. By 4/29 documents lived on my phone. Copies on a flash. Another in the cloud, 2 printed sets. I counted pages aloud, paper likes to be counted. Dawn shows no favorites. Neutral blouse. Closed shoes. Hair back. Courts love quiet, not costume. I opened the blue envelope. You watch, you listen, you keep, Beatrice wrote. Silence rewards the wrong people. If they try to erase you, show what they signed. I filed it with the prints. On the counter lay last night's slip. $3,500. I moved it into my wallet not as debt as coordinates. Cold. You sent me the bill. I went to settle it in numbers. The hallway air felt vacuumed. Dry carpet. Clock hum. Glass that reflects you as someone else. Sabrina 2 rows ahead, beige jacket, hair trained for cameras. Leonard and Patricia beside her, synchronous gestures from people who learned apart long ago. I sat behind Caldwell. They go first, he whispered. We stay quiet. Let the paper talk. Judge Miriam Castillo entered at 9:04. Gray suit, tight bun, a voice that never sweats. Estate of Monroe. Objections on file. Let's proceed. Sabrina's lawyer spoke feelings. Frail, vulnerable. Family. The judge raised one brow. Medical records? Not yet. Continue, she said, and her continue sounded like documents. I handed the folder. Ledger. Notarized statement from 6 months prior. Blue envelope. The judge read slow, finger down columns, paused at PA and LA where check/invoice stayed blank. She read the statement aloud. Beatrice confirms unauthorized draws. Asks me to hold records. Names me the only person with full visibility into her household books. She broke the seal, read. You saw what they didn't. Numbers remain. Then the screen, check scans, signature matches, dates walking too neatly with trips and contractors. Do you dispute the signatures? She asked Leonard and Patricia. Leonard opened a folder and closed it. Patricia adjusted a scarf where pearls weren't. Sabrina finally turned. She was always jealous. Jealousy doesn't move money. Signatures do, the judge said, the sentence falling like a stamp. Recess to 1:30. In the corridor, air grew louder. I screenshotted Sabrina's new text. After lunch this ends. And time-stamped it. Habits save you more than luck. Coldut. I flipped the receipt in my wallet so the crease faced out, like a scar you stopped hiding. By afternoon, court smells merge. Toner, metal, antiseptic. The judge asked. You still challenge capacity without records? We're obtaining them. That's not the same. Caldwell slid a thin packet. Email requiet sale before probate. Transfers to Sabrina's personal account labeled staging without invoices. A text to me. If you don't stop, you'll have no house, no name. Context arrives in documents, the judge said. Not adjectives. We were helping. Patricia breathed into the mic. Help is documented, the judge answered. We thought it was family money, Leonard tried. Family isn't a legal term. Trust is. The screen showed a clean timeline, transfers, trips, vendors. A picture where feelings can't find a chair. I order a forensic accounting. Holds on assets. Phones and email preserved. Subpoenas today, the judge said, voice of instruction. The room pinched. Someone coughed. Somebody clenched a folder. I offered a flat blue envelope. From Beatrice's sewing room. Hidden panel. The judge read. I reaffirm my will. I do not name Sabrina, Leonard, or Patricia. I told Naomi where to find what you will try to bury. She wouldn't write that, Patricia whispered. She did, the judge said, looking at the signature. In the hall, Sabrina came close, the distance where perfume becomes an argument. You won't like what comes next. Numbers don't care what I like. You've made enemies. You've made evidence. Caldwell stood like air beside me. No hallways, he said. Coldut. The ridge of the blue notebook thumped faint through the folder. Paper can have a pulse. Outside, vans taught themselves patience. Inside, accountants spoke with unadorned slides. 9 years of consistent transfers from the Monroe Trust to Archer personal accounts, the court auditor said. Labels, home travel consulting care. Documentation incomplete or absent. Our auditor added. Several align with non-care vendors. Context. Sabrina's lawyer tried. Documents, the judge reminded. A small thread surfaced. Modest deposits to my account, $50, $75, $100, memos for your eyes. For the ledger. Groceries and notebooks, I said. She called them lessons. Gifts to the plaintiff don't legalize theft by defendants, Caldwell said flat. The judge nodded. The slide, a tidy timeline. Every we thought looked thin next to dates. At lunch I sat under humming fluorescence with coffee that smelled deliberately burnt. A text pinged from an unknown number. Check the cedar panel in the sewing room. Left wall. I went. Houses keep secrets better than people. The panel lifted with a fingernail. Inside. A cedar box, letter, photos, a blue notebook. a thumb drive taped under the lid. If they say love, ask for letters. If they say family, ask for receipts. Beatrice wrote in her neat blue hand. Photos made. Sleeves sealed. Timestamps marked. 6 minutes to spare. Chain of custody? Caldwell asked. Photos, stamps, separate envelope for the drive. We filed it all. Beatrice's voice played in court, thin, not weak. If they say I was confused, read the dates. Cold dot. Closings tomorrow at 9. Evening exhaled salt and fuel. They'll try noise, Caldwell said. We filed documents. I drove past the bank that only opens heavy doors in daylight. Sabrina texted. We can end this without spectacle. Her voicemail promised a family agreement. A partial return, a waiver, and a reminder that I'd never belong. Caldwell pinged. A last-minute capacity declaration. No license, no clinic. A signature that doesn't match the registry. We answered with the real doctor, real number, visits logged by date, the way you notarize air. I laid out the folder. Ledger, prints, blue notebook, drive, a photo of the safe deposit key card, texts, the voicemail, everything that breathes in numbers. On top, the $3,500 slip. The coordinate of the beginning so I don't confuse the way back. Another text from the unknown. Tell the judge about the box. Don't go alone. 3 alarms. I told myself, then woke before all 3. Not from fear, from quiet. Morning smelled like coffee I refused to sweeten. Sugar makes truth too soft. I printed a page, no speech, a list. Dates, amounts, initials, blank receipt lines, the small deposits to me, and the audio line. If they say love, ask for letters. On the landing I caught someone else's toast and my own worry. Both smelled burned. Ready? Caldwell asked outside 2C. I'm counting, I said. Cold dot. No hallways. Walk in. Sit. Submit. The judge read like she presses elevator buttons, deliberate, final. Capacity is confirmed. The will is admitted. Sole beneficiary and personal representative. Naomi Brooks. Preliminary misuse indicated. Forensic accounting over 10 years. Preservation of devices and email. Interim restitution $1. $8 million jointly and severally against Leonard and Patricia Archer. Pending final accounting. Forged or defective declaration referred to the district attorney. Order authorizing supervised opening of safe deposit box at noon, on video. In the bank, the vault smelled like a decision. Box 1048 slid from the wall. Camera blinked red. Manager, bailiff, us, signatures down the chain. Inside. A blue sealed envelope, a letter, a certified check, a deed to the Waterhouse, a copy of the will with a note in Beatrice's blue margin. If they say family, ask for receipts. Sabrina's lawyer tried to land a light voice on a heavy floor. Is this necessary? Yes, Caldwell said without looking up. Back in 2C, the video played without commentary. Envelope, signatures, deed, check, margin notes. Contents admitted, the judge said, and wrote the last line. Sabrina looked at me without the camera face, counting, not pleading. Leonard held the gold zipper and didn't pull. Patricia folded her hands like they still belonged to her. That evening I sat in Beatrice's sewing room. Sun laid a square on the machine cover. The tomato pin cushion caught it and winked like truth might if it could. I set 4 things down. The deed, the check, the blue notebook, and the $3,500 restaurant slip. I ran a finger along the crease, a small spine. On a clean page I wrote 6 lines and slid them into a new blue envelope without wax. For girls. Tomorrow I'll open a fund in Beatrice's name for foster girls taught roofs but not dignity. On the threshold I touched the cool metal where a hand lands to steady cloth. Outside, Mission Bay held its line. A gull perched on a streetlight like a metronome with nothing urgent left to time. The folder lay on the passenger seat. The receipt rested beneath it like a backbone. My phone lit once, she'd be proud, from June. I turned it face down. Numbers don't celebrate. They add up. Subscribe to Revenge Veil if you haven't yet. New stories every day.